together. But that's how things are done here. I wish you luck.
Scrooge? I have to redeem old Scrooge? The one man I knew who was worse than I was? Impossible! It can't be done!
Let me see the contract. Party of the first part, blah, blah, blah. Ah, here we are. On effecting a total and complete change of heart on the said subject, Mr. E. Scrooge, said change must be willing and irreversible. On the effecting of such change, all debt shall be forgiven, all bonds broken, and the undersigned, that's you, I assume, shall be free to seek his greater joy. Well, that's not very specific. What do they mean?
Oh, this is terrible. A willing and irreversible change of heart? It's not possible. He doesn't have one.
Oh, and there's an asterisk. This contract shall expire in 24 hours Earth time from the moment of signature or cockscrow, whichever shall come sooner.
24 hours? Ridiculous! If I had 24 years, perhaps, but 24 hours?
Well, no one said this was going to be easy.
But this, it can't be done! It's not fair!
Stop whining!
How?
These work release things are in great demand. You're lucky to get one.
So, this is my one chance of getting out of here.
Quite.
Hell.
You could say that. Well, 24 hours isn't very long. Time's a wasting.
I suppose you're right. Well, how do we go about this?
Well, that's up to you.
Up to me? I thought you were here to help.
I'm allowed to facilitate, but the inspiration and the perspiration must be yours. Don't you love that? The inspiration and the perspiration must be
Delightful. Well, I suppose we'd best begin by paying a visit to the old crocodile.
Wouldn't do any harm to take a look.
This is Scrooge we're talking about.
Oh, indeed. Sorry. Forgot.
Cratchit!
The windows of Scrooge's counting house rattle, and a few icicles shattered on the cobblestone outside.
Yes, Mr. Scrooge.
Now, if you thought Marley was bad, well, Scrooge, sheesh. A very fine storyteller once described him in exorbitant detail, and suffice to say, in no way did he exaggerate. A squeezing, retching, grasping, clutching, covetous old sinner describes Ebenezer Scrooge rather more kindly than he deserves.
Yes, Mr. Scrooge.
A poor old Cratchit. Well, he's looking much the worse for wear. I don't remember all that grey.
Look at the calendar. It's been 7 years, old Crumpot.
7 years.
This very night.
But I've only just
Can't
passed...
you tell me the same where we come from?
My. This very night.
The 24th of December.
Ah, you don't say.
Marley and the Bogle watched the usual goings-on at Scrooge and Marley's for the 24th of December. Beggars and carolers were chased away from Scrooge's door with threats of physical harm and prison sentences. Scrooge's nephew, Fred, came in.
Merry Christmas, Uncle. Already glowing Christmas cheer, he issued his yearly invitation to Christmas dinner and received...
His yearly curse.
Bah, humbug. But Marley's new circumstances allowed him to hear things with new ears. Particularly Scrooge's nephew's ringing speech about men and women opening up their shut-up hearts freely and thinking of each other as fellow passengers to the grave. The boy has a point.
You ought to know. Finally, it was 6 o'clock.
You'll be wanting the whole day tomorrow, I suppose.
If it's quite convenient, sir.
Well, it's not convenient and it's not fair. But I have no objection to your taking your work home with you. I shall expect the Fleming contracts, the McCabe leases, the Smith-Scott memoranda on my desk first thing in the morning on the 26th. In duplicate, of course.
Of course, sir. Thank you, sir.
Ah, don't mention it. I'm all hot, I know.
This is hopeless. I may as well go back to hell. Eternity's a long time. Let's get started.
Oh, don't give up so easily. And the two of them watched Cratchit.
Shut everything down. Lock everything up. And finish by making a rude gesture to Scrooge's portrait on the wall.
You haven't tried anything yet. Still, it does look pretty bad, I'm afraid. The man seems to be completely lacking any sort of Christmas spirit. But you mustn't let your spirit droop. I'm sure it's just a matter of making a spirited effort. A bit of the old school spirit's what's required. Mustn't be wanting spirit at this time. You know, my throat's a bit parched and I could do with some...
I could go for a drink myself. Wait. I have it.
Yes.
What else can we do, we spirits, here on Earth? I know we can walk through walls, get about unseen, but is there anything else?
I thought he'd never ask. Come here.
So, we can alter our appearance.
Oh, that's the least of it. Transubstantiation, instantaneous relocation, acceleration, reversal, and stoppage of time. Really, when you're on official business, you're...
Perhaps we can scare some sense into the old reptile. Perhaps a ghostly visitation, something really terrifying. How's this? And Marley was suddenly covered head to toe in a long white sheet. Scrooge repaired!
I don't think that's going to do it.
Oh, I think it will. I think you'll be surprised. Let's just try it.
I wouldn't if I were you. You're liable to get thrown out with tomorrow's laundry.
All right. If you're so smart, what would you do?
Well, it's not really up to me, but I think you're pretty scary as it is.
Thanks. You mean, and Marley blinked back into his former shape, like this.
Well, I think you can touch it up a bit. You have been dead for 7 years.
7 years. Yes. And Marley rotted before his companion's eyes.
Ew, that's good. That's good.
Scrooge was uneasy. All day he had a feeling that he was being watched. Now on his way home, the darkness, the cold, and the fog all seemed to conspire together to trip him up, confuse him, rattle his nerves. No one loitering under the street lamp. No one hiding suspiciously in the dark courtyard. Alone. So, at long last, he turned towards his door.
Scrooge! Marley looked the old man straight in the eye and waggled his tongue horribly at him, before having the good grace to turn back into a knocker.
I'm never having dinner in that tavern again.